basically at any gym that I've trained in for an extended period of time, I've always had gym beef. It's kind of like these unspoken gym rivalries where there is another dude that you rubbed the wrong way and he rubbed you the wrong way and you don't really like each other. And it's never really anything aggressive, like you don't talk shit to each other, you don't argue. Actually, you don't really talk all that much at all. It's just you kind of know that both of you don't really like each other and like you give each other mean looks. And sometimes you don't say hi. And then when you do have to say hi, it's weird. It's like an awkward situation that you're in. And I feel like it's funny and it's actually like a cool thing to have because for me it always kind of motivates me to an extent because like whenever the dude would be around, I would make sure that I'm lifting like extra heavy. And like whenever he is around, like I always want to look my best and I want to always be my strongest and I just want to perform as good as humanly possible. So it's kind of like a silly thing that guys do, but it's also funny and it's also kind of like almost cute to an extent. And I think it's mostly cute because like it never really escalates into anything too aggressive, at least not for me, because I'm just generally not a person that is going to engage in these kind of like weird activities. But yeah, it's also like at this point I'm starting to wonder if it's me or if it's just generally how it is. Because like the last 3 gyms that I've trained in for an extended period of time, I've always had this. I've always had this like one dude specifically that I do not get along with. And sometimes I've even tried to like have a conversation with the person or try to be nice to the person, but like, yeah, no, you can't get through once it's there, it's there. I remember the previous gym that I trained in, like I gave a guy a mean look because he was like basically occupying a machine for a very long period of time. He was there with a group of people and they were just like chatting, talking shit and not really training properly. And it ended up with them being there for like 30, 40 minutes at like one singular machine. And I remember I quite clearly made him understand that I don't like this without really saying anything directly to him. And from there on, like we've never had a good relationship, me and the guy. And then this gym that I train in now, there was also this guy that I kind of thought that we're okay at the beginning and I even like tried to have conversations with him. But for some reason, he was always very weird with me. And at the beginning, I thought that, well, okay, maybe he's just a weird dude. Maybe he's socially awkward and he doesn't really know how to properly communicate. But then I overheard him talk with somebody else and he was like the nicest and the coolest person ever. But then whenever I would try to talk to him, he's just like really fucking weird and almost kind of like sarcastic to an extent. And I didn't really understand why, because like we never even really had this kind of an interaction where I would potentially piss him off or where he would piss me off. But like whenever I tried to engage with him in a conversation, he was just weird. And then ultimately I just also became weird because I kind of got tired of it. And now at this point we're kind of like at the stage where we don't really talk anymore. We do still say hi. And he does stare at me from like weird corners of the gym, which is odd. And then I probably also stare at him subconsciously without really noticing it myself. And yeah, it's just like a weird relationship that you sometimes develop with people. And it's also strange how do you get to that point, because like I'm not a person that like actively tries to trigger people. I'm actually kind of like very to myself and I don't really communicate with people all that much at the gym. And I have like very good relationships with most people. So like if I would constantly be getting into these kind of situations with everyone, I would understand that there's probably something wrong with me and I'm probably communicating with people in a weird way. But like it's always like a singular dude and that's it. And I feel like it's almost kind of like a competition. And also, I mean, I've been going to the gym for a fairly long period of time and I'm not the smallest dude on the planet. And I mean, once again, I'm not trying to like brag or trying to like come off as an asshole, but like I've trained for a while and I like go quite heavy when it comes to like me training at the gym. So maybe it's also like just a thing where like guys are going to be weird around you in general as soon as they see that you're like actually training seriously and that your training is kind of serious. Like maybe that is also a part of the thing where like sometimes people just get intimidated and they react to being intimidated in a weird way. So for example, for me, I used to have this thing where as soon as I would get intimidated by a guy, I would start acting overly nice to the guy and I would start being weird with the guy. And there's also this thing in boxing that whenever you spar someone and he beats the fuck out of you, you become very, very nice to the person. So there is the thing that guys do sometimes when you're intimidated, you become overly nice. So maybe there are also people that kind of have the opposite reaction, and when you get intimidated, you become weird and awkward and kind of like almost sarcastically mean. So yeah, not really sure what is the case with this guy, but yeah, it's a weird dynamic to have. But overall, I feel like these kind of rivalries are good. They motivate you. At least they motivate me, and they kind of make me perform the best as I possibly can, because every single day when I do go to the gym, I know that the guy is going to be there, and the guy is going to be watching, and the guy is going to be judging, so that makes me perform my best. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just a cool, kind of like funny, interesting thing that I've noticed that happens quite often when you train and when you like go to a gym for a long period of time. Anyways, that is the video for today. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.